You only need two things for weight loss, and at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what they are. I'm also going to share my experience with Noom along the way and tell you some pros and cons of Noom. My name is Dr. Jill, for those of you who've not watched my show before, and today I wanted to talk about Noom for weight loss and tell you what my experience was as a consumer. And at the end of this video, I'm going to let you know if I recommend Noom or not for you for weight loss. And I'd like to start by talking to you about some pros and cons. I think the first time I heard about Noom, I just saw an ad for it on the internet when I was surfing the web. And so I decided to try the free trial and download the app. After that trial was over, I decided to continue on that journey just to see what would happen. One of the first things I noticed about the Noom app was that it was very easy to use. So my first pro, obviously, is easy app. And what I liked about the app was that it had some really awesome features. So let me just show you what I mean. On the home screen here on the app, you can see a big part of this is logging your meals every day. So every day you have the opportunity here. Let's go ahead and check lunch for now. And I think I'll have a s'more for lunch. Maybe not the healthiest thing, but I really like those Trader Joe's old-fashioned cinnamon graham crackers. So we're gonna log 1.5 of those. We're gonna go ahead and add some marshmallows to that. And then, of course, you have to have the Hershey's chocolate. So we're going to add some Hershey's chocolate to that. And see, it shows me here the serving sizes I can choose. And then it tells me how many calories per serving, depending on the serving size I use. And so the other cool thing is, once we're done with that, we get a breakdown of foods into 3 categories, the green, red, and yellow foods. And it tells you how many calories you can have in each of those categories every day. Are just 3 categories, green, yellow, and red. So green means usually more nutritional value, very high water content, and also not as calorically dense as the red. So whole grains fall into that category, as well as the non-fat Greek yogurts, fruits, vegetables, all of those things that are highly nutritious that don't have a lot of calories and have actually a lot of water also. And then we have the yellow category, which is going to have more of the beans, maybe some low-fat meats. And then we have the red category, which is going to have the high sugar foods, fatty meats, and those nuts that are highly calorically dense that I talked about. And then back on the main screen, we can see how many calories are left in our budgets every day. So let's look at some more foods. Let's look at another cool feature, this UPC scanner, barcode scanner. Basically, you can scan any food package that you get at the grocery store, and it'll actually bring it up for you most of the time. There are some things that are not in there, but I was actually very surprised at how many things were in there. And basically any restaurant you can think of, you can type in the name of the restaurant, and it's going to pull up almost all of the menu items. Sometimes there were some that I could not find, but overall it was a very awesome feature because a lot of us do eat a lot of our meals out. So for instance, we can find some of the items on the skinny menu at the Cheesecake Factory, and then I also eat at Jason's Deli quite a bit, their salad bar, and also maybe let's have a chocolate chip cookie. So it basically tells me, just quickly helps me log and then shows me the calories in each of those food items. And then I go back to my analysis and we can look at the different items and how they appear and if they're going to be in the red, yellow, or green section. So overall, I really like the way that this allows you to quickly and easily log your food, because I think that used to be a huge roadblock for people who didn't want to take the time or just didn't know how to calculate the calories in the food they were eating every day. So it made it a lot harder to lose weight. And now let's move on to water. This is interesting. It's neat because it allows me to log my water every day. And after I drink a glass of water, I can edit my own goals for water too. And it keeps up to date and keeps track of my water for me throughout the day. And then if I wanted to do some exercise, I go to the track more progress, click on exercise, pretty much choose anything that's listed here. And usually for me, it's either going to be something like hiking or walking or biking or running or yard work or house cleaning. So you can choose how long you did it, and it will give you an estimate of how many calories you're burning. And then that's actually calculated into the calories per day that you can have. So you might start with only being able to have 1,200 calories a day, and then next thing you know, you're up to being able to have 1,300. So next, let's talk about graphing your weight. It gives you your goal on that line, and it basically tells you the exact date at which you will be that weight if you follow the plan accordingly. When I was a family practice physician up in Northern California, I definitely had a lot of women who came in to see me for weight loss. Most of the time, the women were in their late 40s, 50s, and 60s, and they usually wanted me to check one thing in their lab work consistently. And that one thing was thyroid. So along with other hormones, sometimes I would check thyroid levels, and I would say 95% of the time, those thyroid levels came back normal. So my next step was usually having the patients do a food log and then come to see me a couple weeks later with their food log so we could see how many calories they were eating versus how many they were expending. A lot of times I noticed the patients did not do their food log, or it was a incomplete food log if they even did one at all. And that to me was part of the problem. People didn't have what I thought was the motivation to actually lose the weight, even though they wanted to lose the weight. It wasn't just all about not knowing how to lose weight, it was also getting in the right mindset. And that would be another thing I would consider a pro about Noom, was that they talk about the psychological aspects of weight loss. Psychology. So on any particular day, you'd go down in the morning and you'd see that you've had some articles to read, something that was going to be interesting to help you get in the right mindset for weight loss. And sometimes they'd give you a task as well to complete. Along with the psychology, I was also noticing that they were trying to keep that motivation level up by also having you interact with other Noom subscribers. So the other pro about that was motivational. So when I first started out, I did my starting weight, and then my goal was to see if I could get down to, I put in a goal of 115 pounds. So as time went on and as my journey went on, I did not find it very difficult to log my food, or because I also had that strong motivation to lose weight, it was also very good at keeping within my calories for the day. Noom was also very forgiving. If you got off the wagon, basically they just told you to dust yourself off and get up the next day and start over. I was pretty good at following the calorie intake for the day, and I was logging my food very consistently and also my exercise. So I was following all of the rules. I was eating just as much as I was expending according to the app. And in the end, I ended up losing about 17 pounds. So I went down to about 113 pounds, whereas my goal was only 115 pounds. In fact, I actually thought I was losing too much weight. So that's very easy for me to actually gain back 2 pounds and get to my 115 goal weight. I honestly really can't think of a con. In fact, I'm no longer paying for the service, but I'm actually still able to use the app and log my food and my steps, which is a very nice thing, a nice feature for them to allow me to do that on the app. And I also found it very user-friendly, so I really have nothing bad to say about Noom. And really, you only need 2 key things to lose weight with Noom. You need a strong desire for weight loss, and you also need, obviously, the Noom app. And please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any great videos that I do in my kitchen for specific medical conditions, using mostly low-fat and low-sugar options, and also some great, just decadent recipes as well.